What's up, and welcome to episode 9 of the Q podcast with very special guest, Rob of Rob's Rides. Welcome, good sir. Nothing much, man. It's interesting how you landed on here and how we met, but we'll discuss some things in a second. But before we continue to get to know you a little bit more, to give you the premise of the show, it's as if we were in a hypothetical queue line waiting to ride your favorite attraction. And while we wait, we just have a simple conversation as friends. Yeah? Oh, okay, then. So, with that being said, what is your favorite coaster?
I've been on Team Maverick for a very long time, so I'll say Team Maverick.
I guess we're riding Maverick today.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be a long line because,
Hey. 75-minute queue. That's what we're aiming at right now. 75 minutes. That's what is advertised.
That's pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate. Wow. That's the first time. Okay, cool. All right. So, what is your home park right now?
Technically, it's Six Flags America. I just moved up to North Virginia, next to DC. So,
okay. Are you happy that they're reopening?
So I've never been, so it's exciting.
You've never been? That's true. I mean, I've never been there either, but I'm excited to visit this year, I suppose. I've heard very, very, very mixed reviews on that park. Very bad and some not too bad, so to speak. But they're opening up, March or so? So, hey, it's a thing. It's a park. What were your thoughts of Over Georgia as your home park? I've seen a lot of your Instagram stuff and interesting. but
I liked it because it was feeling like a home park. Like after a while being there, it's like, this is my home park. Like by the time I posted it's like, this is my home park at this point. So I'm just going to.
What would you change about Over Georgia?
They're not popping like they used to be. So like I used to go to Atlanta all the time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I remember it being super crowded all the time. And it was just, I don't know, there was like a vibe of like excitement there. And
around what time was it, or what year would you say?
Early 2000s.
Yeah, I would say so. The same thing, because that's my own thing. Growing up in Florida, then visiting obviously family out here too. And then what are you gonna do with family every once in a while? That you're a kid, and then the adults want to take the kids out. Six Flags. So I went in the 90s and early 2000s like you, and it really I don't remember too much, but I remember how awesome and fun the park was like back then, and how much fun I had. And I was afraid to ride, big rides and stuff. But I just remember, again, the vibe and the scale of the park and how lively it was. And now that I'm older and I go there, and especially a lot now, I don't feel the same way.
I mean, a part of it is just me getting older, because I feel that way with most parks.
What park don't you feel it? What park really keeps you like feeling alive and you're pumped about it?
I guess maybe Cedar Point. I don't go there as often as I also went there as a kid a lot too.
Okay, but you still feel like good about it though.
There's just so much to do.
Correct. I mean, I still haven't been out there, which I will make that commute this year.
Yeah, like when you haven't been on the rides for a while, it's like it feels somewhat new.
When was your last visit to Cedar Point?
So I'm going to say the last real visit that I had was in 2016.
You originally are from Cincinnati?
Yes. So my home park originally was Kings Island.
So that's why you know so much about Kings Island.
Yes.
Okay.
I was starting to do like some of my videos with Six Flags Over Georgia started to feel very fun too, because I have a little more nuanced views. Okay. Because I roll them all the time. Mm-hmm. Little small things like how they sound, or like the little small bumps that nobody thinks about. Like things like I'll mention those in the videos. And so I have that same type of thing with Kings Island. Mm-hmm. Even though when we just talk about how our ages are, like I'm definitely a Paramount Kings Island baby.
Okay. So you remember those days? Would you prefer those days over now?
It's hard to say because I grew up during those times, and we have like some of the big coasters, but like, because now when I ride them, it's just like, I wasn't there when they came, like Banshee and
true.
Mystic. Like I wasn't there, so I don't have the same level of connection to them. And so there's like a lot of people who are like Kings Island fans that follow me because I was like, that was my home park. And when they're so excited for me to talk about certain things, I'm just like, I don't even have the same level of for them because I don't have the same connection to them.
That's true. I guess that makes a lot of sense. But you still made the videos and got the views and stuff. But what made you start wanting to make a YouTube channel and talk about the stuff you talk about, like coasters and parks, and also your approach, how you do your videos, like, or even, for example, a ride. You mentioned Banshee, like what Banshee feels like. It's kind of like your title, and it works. How did you come about with that model and your formula? If you don't mind speaking on that.
I've always, as far as I can remember, I've always loved amusement parks. I remember when I was a little kid and I was a little more scared to ride.
Same.
But I always loved them. Like I remember it was like something in first grade when I said that I wanted to be like a roller coaster designer.
Wow.
As I got older, YouTube came about, and like many people, I started going on YouTube and watching all those random videos that they had. And like when it was early on, like I really liked Kingsley, and later on, like I found, and there was like theme park review and stuff like that did the.
Of course, I mean, like 15 years in the game or something like that. They've been.
I remember like Coaster Gallery. It was on YouTube. It was like like that was a thing. I was on that a lot, but yeah. Eventually, I found Coaster Studios.
And even still now, like that's why he has the following, the growth, because he's been in it. He's an OG of the game.
For time, I was watching his videos. I was watching people that made similar videos to him, and other like POV videos and things like that. And I was just like, there's something like missing.
Yeah. What was missing?
Me.
What do you feel like you provided that the game needed, that the YouTube coaster community needs of Rob's rides?
It was entertaining, but it wasn't fun.
It was entertaining because you had an interest in it, right? But it wasn't like entertaining and exciting.
Yeah, it's not
just in general.
So it's like my niche. So I want to look at stuff on it, but it wasn't like I'm excited about. At that same time. So then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it. Plus, I'm black. I don't see this at all.
What other? Were there any other black content creators doing this when you started?
Technically, was I looking at them? No. Well, I definitely knew of Roller Coaster Crafter. He makes like connects.
So you felt like you had to do. You had to do something to change the way,
like this
community.
I always agree. Well, I always think of like if you want to see like a change in the world, like be that change.
Oh, okay, for sure.
It was so specific that I knew that no one would do it. That change because of, I guess, the size of our community, at least at that time, how it was on.
What and then what year was this?
So this is around like 2014, 2015 when I'm. Yeah. And yeah, so I was like, there's not going to be something. You're just going to be sitting there waiting forever. Like if you want somebody to make that change. So I literally have to be the one to make a change. So I'm like, yeah, let me do it. And yeah, so I took the influences from like the type of YouTubers that I watched at the time. It's like still Kingsley, it was like Superwoman and Joey Santagato. It was people like that that were funny or kind of like, I don't know, personable. And
you took that and made it into something in this community and just ran with it.
Yeah.
So the early on videos with it, when you tried this, well, first of all, were you doing YouTube before then? And then you decided to make this change? Oh, so you just came out with this and with that approach, just hit the ground running? Okay. So with that being said, where people weren't used to it. So how was it received?
It's hard to say because anybody that starts a YouTube, unless they have connections, they start with like 17 views.
Yeah. Oh, I know the struggle. Trying to get double-digit views, like, oh man, I got 9. Can I get 10?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those views. So it's hard to say as like population of people how they viewed it.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's not really that many people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I didn't start getting like initially I didn't even do like coaster reviews.
Okay.
Were supposed to just be like commentary about being in a park, like situations in a park.
Oh, okay. Unique.
And then I started doing coaster reviews, and that's when I feel like I started getting more people.
Okay.
When people were beginning to come and say, I think they got it, and they're like, this is different. I think it was too different because I was doing coaster reviews. Like,
right.
If you saw like the early things when I was like talking about being a hand stamp guy and the park being or like stuff like that. I would have been a little more confused, but because I feel like they started with like I don't know, Georgia Scorcher review or stuff like that.
But even your reviews, it'll be like you're actually reviewing it, but people will tend to laugh and be entertained when they watch the video because it's way different than something I would do or other people do. Like you're your own person, you have your own style. Like, let me ask you something. So when you do your videos, how do you come up with all these like I don't even know how to word it. These like ad libs, so to speak, to go with what you're talking about. Do you get what I mean by that? Like you said something about your Max Force video, something clear like Claritin or something like. But like you'll throw in little things that you don't need to, but it's your way of describing what it's like, and it's creative and it's funny.
I don't really know where I came up with that.
Do you think of these things beforehand, or this is just the top of your head and it just flies?
Both.
So you think of it sometimes?
Sometimes it's like, yeah, I wrote it down because I thought it was. Well, I would think about it before I do the video.
Yeah.
And like those type of things will come in my mind. I'm like, okay, let me write this down so I can remember to say it. I'm just on the fly as well.
Yeah. So real quick, speaking on that, I think it's a perfect segue. So you started doing YouTube, and we'll get back into that in a second. But really, your bread and butter, I feel you might even agree, is social media. So let me ask. So you make a lot of memes. So for people who don't know, he makes a lot of memes of theme park and coaster related stuff, which is I don't think anybody's really doing that. You'll see some here and there or whatever, but like you're creating those. You're not just passing those on. You're actually making those, right?
Yeah.
Right. Which is off the top of your head. You're making those, putting it into a scenario, something that you've seen. I believe I heard you mention that it takes you like 15 minutes or so. So not too long.
No, it depends on why.
Okay.
It's literally like I need to post something. And so I'm just going to scroll on like meme sites.
Yeah.
And see like if there's anything popular. And then I'm like, what can I do?
Oh, okay.
As far as like the world with this. But then there's other ones where I'm just like, I have this idea of like and I'm like, I need to really find like the right video or something like that to
so this is interesting. Like
it's literally like 15 minutes. So that the actual production of making the memes,
I like this, and it's getting pretty interesting because most people, I have on here do YouTube, but really their Instagram's not, or Twitter, any social media is not really popping.
Yeah.
But you get some activity. And so we're more so talking about in a shift that, and I think you even pivoted a little bit more from watching and listening to your last video to more so Instagram, like we're saying, because you're more active on there. What's your approach? Like, how did this spawn? What is your approach to this in regards to, you feel like you have to post? So you feel more of a need to stay up to date on Instagram rather than YouTube? Because you just put out a video at the time of recording. It is February 4th. And then before then, you didn't put out a video since September of 2019. So you're just like,
well, technically I put out the video in January, but it didn't get the numbers I wanted, so I took it down.
oh, okay. Well, you could, I guess. Okay, a year. My bad.
Well, January of 2020. But
wait, hold on. This video you just put up?
No, I just put this is new.
Right. So what video are you talking about that January 2020?
I was going to talk about that Hagrid's poster.
Okay.
And just like a lot of stuff about the.
Oh, wait, I think you did mention something about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was like a 2-part thing. And the part didn't get as many people that I wanted.
Yeah, that I wanted. The people that came, I didn't want you.
This is energy, man. Making video editing is energy.
Ain't that the truth? You know, I know.
Yeah. So
hours, like you said.
I'm not about to do this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, fans. I'm sorry.
So the man has 4,000 plus subscribers, and he's been doing this. What year did you say you started making YouTube?
I officially started in 2016.
Okay, 2016. Wow. So yeah. And then you feel like, and we'll get back to that social media presence in a second, but you feel like from your video, not to get too much into it because you have the video and all that, pass people on to over there so they can watch it for themselves. You feel like the algorithm hates you.
I don't. Social media is a very interesting space.
But I'm talking about YouTube's algorithm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. YouTube is a very interesting space.
It's a it changes daily.
And there's so much reliance on the algorithm for people to like become big. And when most people think like, how are you going to how do you start a YouTube channel? How do you do well on a YouTube channel? They think more of like the quality.
Okay.
Which is important, but when you don't, it doesn't get in front of other people's faces, they're not going to see it. So you're still not going to grow from that.
Right.
So it's like there's this whole promotional side that really nobody talks about. Mm-hmm. And part of it is the algorithm, because the algorithm is promoting you to other people.
True.
And that's where, so when you start some of your analytics about like reach and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then it's like, is this video even getting pushed? Like, are people seeing it? Like, you can't be upset about the quality of your video. Like, you shouldn't think something's wrong with your video because it didn't get that many views when it's not getting in front of people's faces.
Okay.
So how are they going to find you? Unless they're like, they have to already know you exist.
Right. Or of course they're searching for that topic. No, that's true. But I mean, in this realm that we're in, our viewers like coasters, they like theme parks. So they're obviously, you're in that ballpark. You're not talking about sports. You're talking about something that you're into and that your audience is into. So YouTube does know that you're into that stuff, that's your genre.
I don't want to attack YouTube like they're doing something targeting me, because I don't think that they are. I think they just have an algorithm, and I didn't get caught on it. Like, I didn't get caught on the algorithm, but there's so many people that make videos, so it's like it's not about a chance.
But you had success in regards to thousands of views on tons of videos. What are you specifically looking for?
I mean, that is YouTube, but I think
it's YouTube mixed with your people sharing it out.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
And it's also like, word of mouth type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once you get subscribers, then you actually get notifications, which is different. You're getting a notification about watching your stuff. So like, once you grow your subscribers, then there's people that are actually,
it's guaranteed eyes on your stuff.
It doesn't need the same like algorithm push.
Yeah.
So that's also a big thing, like networking with people and doing things like this, like collaborations. because that is more of something in your hands.
Yeah, of course.
On an algorithm for people to find your content because they're already following somebody else.
So what would you say to the person who doesn't like to collab or mess with other people and they're really striving to do it solo? Unless they get blessed with being caught in the wave of the algorithm and they're swimming like through the channel, like in Finding Nemo. I try to use one of your type of pun things. I felt like that was a good one. What can they do? What would you suggest? I mean, you've been on this for about 5 years and you've had a streak of success. You still have numbers, like your last video has more views than what some people in the space get, or equal, or whatever. You still can do this.
Oh yeah.
But you're choosing to not be consistent and do it more so sporadically.
You have to just recognize a point where you know your worth. And if you feel as though, but you have to be pretty accurate about your feelings. You shouldn't just feel like, oh yeah, I'm shit, so that I should get everything. Like, if you feel as though you aren't getting what you actually would make sense to get.
Because I believe you felt like you made and make good stuff, and you deserved more attention and views than what you were getting. I believe you mentioned that on that last video.
I don't like the word deserve. Like,
no, I know, and I'll help you with that. You're not trying to be big-headed. You're not trying to boast. You're not trying to say, "Hey, I'm the junk. I'm the best thing out here." I think every creator has felt in a way like, "Hey, such and such has made a video that's subpar. Why isn't mine popping off like theirs? And mine's way better." Like, you can look at it and literally be like, "Why are you guys gravitating to?"
Like, you can make an amazing video, but people aren't gonna see it. That's why it's all promo. But I feel as though, like, I've been making these numbers that I'm making today. Well, yeah, today. Because I'm definitely gonna break. When after my first year, which that was a natural growth.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of I think there's like distinctive eras of my channel.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of like the Kings Island videos.
Yeah.
That's when I was getting a lot of a flood of people, kind of. And then, which was 2017. And then it started to just plateau and not go anywhere.
You switched up some things, right? Because you were doing the videos that we talked about, but then you started kind of doing what you said you liked doing, kind of documentary stuff too. So was that you were trying to shift a little bit, pivot to get a little more life back into it, so to speak? Not saying that your videos were lifeless, but when you plateau, you might need to rethink and tweak some ideas about what's happening, and then to revive it a bit, I guess. Is that what you did? Like, change up a little bit by you were still kind of adding your little things in it that made you, but you were still doing.
I just felt like the poster review thing was kind of tired. I don't know. And again, like, I watch YouTube all the time. I feel when there's trends or like changes, and I also just, I don't know, I was tired of it, and I thought that it was very limited because you're gonna run out of coasters. To be honest, especially if you only do reviews based on.
Okay. In that sense, if you only do reviews, yes, like
based on the coasters that you wrote, like, you're gonna run out, so you're going to have to transition anyway. So that's how I transitioned. I wouldn't say I'm pumping life into it, but I definitely feel as though I was starting to like different types of content on YouTube. And I started to reflect that in my videos.
Such as what? Like
how types. That's the type of videos I began watching more on YouTube. Like, as I was saying, like how I was watching a lot of like Superwoman and Kingsley and stuff like that. I wasn't watching that much, and I began to watch more of the smaller documentary types. Yeah. And so I was beginning to reflect things that were just like interesting to me at the time.
Yeah, for sure. Mentioning that, did you watch Defunctland before you were in a Defunctland episode?
Yeah.
Because, by the way, that's how I got introduced to you.
Yeah. I also, you was one of those. Hey.
Yeah, you had a lot of, and well, I'll let you talk on it, and then we'll talk about the growth that came from that. But yeah,
Collaborations, everything. But
I thought it was. I personally, I like the video. I like the topic. I didn't really know much about it. I know you grew up with the park, and you got to experience it.
actually happens too. Like, it could have been a little better at the collaboration. It was more so like, yeah, he was interested in using my stuff. I'm not sure.
And that's it, really. How did you feel about that many people?
Comments came here from the Funkland.
You got a lot of that.
And then I was like, what? And that's when I actually looked at the.
Oh, okay. You mentioned on your video too about the growth that came from that. Like, did a lot of the people stick around, and obviously they got to know you a little bit more, so they also saw a different lighter style, and it made them gravitate a little bit more, you would say, to you?
And it probably also helped because I was beginning to transition to commentary stuff, so it made
okay, cool.
It's more something that they would want to watch because they already watch that type of video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on the Funkland wave.
I mean, like you mentioned, that's one of those blessings that happen. You caught a break, so to speak. Do you want to talk about Son of Beast real quick?
I actually like some, like everybody, when I saw, so did you see the El Toro Ryan video?
Yes, I did.
And they were saying like Son of Beast victims.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I never. I wrote the ride.
So it wasn't bad to you?
Yes, it was bad, but it was not that. I don't know how to describe. Well, one thing, I was younger, so I could tolerate it.
Yeah.
It was very rough. Well, really just the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
But kind of the second helix as well was kind of bad. But
But what about the rest of the ride, in your opinion?
it was fun.
Still rough though?
It was like a wooden, like at that time, I felt like that's another thing. When we talk about like smoothness of coasters, when I look at like, well, think about back when I was a kid, like coasters weren't that smooth.
Right.
Like everything was like about like Millennium Force and stuff like that being smooth. But, like before, like
coasters weren't. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Beating I grew up on all.
So, what are your thoughts about like Scream Machine at Six Flags Over Georgia right now?
I actually realized that I didn't make a video, and I'm like, why did I not make a video on this? And so I need to figure out.
Well, there you go.
Okay. So the last time I wrote it, they did the half-ass repack.
Oh, so that one, not the new one where they did more time, but just the little pieces. And yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think that was 2019, 2018, 2019.
No. I wrote it. I wrote it this year. Like, so the recent
Oh, you're talking about the new how they? Okay, yeah. You still don't like it?
Hit the red.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When the red stopped, that's when you realize. Uh-oh. Oh God, brace yourself.
I still feel like it's weird. The brake run it's so short. You go over that last like bunny hill and you land right into it and you get jerked. I don't know what that was why. I don't know that design. I've never experienced that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But before that, I think it's an airtime machine, and I really do. I think the back row on that it's pretty wicked, and I approve. A lot of people don't like it. I had a lady in front of me. She was like, "Man, that was the worst coaster I've ever ridden. Get me off this thing. Lift up these like the like." She didn't call it restraints or lap bar or anything. I don't know what she said, but she's like, "Lift these things out." Like, man, we never ride in this again. And I was just like, "Well, I'm about to get where she was." I enjoy it.
That is, I remember there was a time where it was scary fun because I was like, I am going to fall off this coaster today.
No, you feel like when you're about to recover on some of those like hills, you only have half a second to recover before you're slammed and you're hitting more airtime. I like it. And even like El Toro Ryan mentioned like that's one of his surprises. Like people hate it, but hey, it's an acquired taste. So, but
You're on me. I didn't have that much of a thought before, but then like later on, the last few years I was there.
Okay. All right. But I wanted to shift backwards a little bit. Let's backtrack. Which is funny, by the way. This is like a pure conversation. I'm not even looking at talking points. This is just going as planned, and we just so happen to look up, and we're doing a podcast. But this is just like a real conversation, which is cool. I like it. It's a different twist, so to speak. But back to the Instagram thing. With the Instagram thing, how you feel like, well, it seems like you pay more attention to it. You get a lot of views because I'm sure you look at analytics, right, on that to see on average how well do you do on a post. So again, guys, while he's thinking, just to remind you, he does a lot of memes. And do you post anything else other than memes, really?
Not recently.
Not recently. Okay. Well, I know in your stories, like if you hit up a park, you'll film and make IG stories and stuff. So, which are pretty funny and interesting, and it takes a certain type of skill set. But just in general, you do a lot of coaster memes, theme park memes, which I feel like the community needs. But again, what are your average views? The eyes that hit your post, your reach, your impressions.
My likes. I think I have like a core of like 150.
Okay.
That's like my core audience that like if I drop something, well, there's like the core that is like 90 to like 120. There's like others that I post, even if it don't make any sense, they'll like it. And then there's like the core that is like 150. And then if it's like something that a lot of people think is really funny, it'll be like 250. Sometimes that works, especially if there's things that are like really like mainstream meme cultural things, like The Office or SpongeBob or like those type of things. And then sometimes there's just those random ones that people just really get. Like there's this one that I do with Ellen.
Okay.
Like have like a new ride and it's a girl screaming. And like that was like one of the biggest ones that I had. I'm just like, I thought it was funny, but like, I didn't think that would be like the biggest one.
Where do you think like the Instagram followers came from? People started just following you on Instagram and wanting to experience what you had to offer as far as the memes and just laughing a bit.
There's three answers. One, I already have a channel, so there's some people that just found me.
Oh, from the YouTube channel to Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who, I guess I guess it's the same thing. That is me interacting with YouTuber, like Instagram influencers.
Okay.
They see my name, they see the comments. And there's also times where I literally find people. I see them comment something.
Okay.
And then I'll find something and like their stuff, and then they'll like my stuff.
Okay.
And also another thing, I do the polls and things on my story. And I shout people out.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
And when they sometimes people will like repost that to their story, and people will follow me from like whoever.
Oh, nice. Okay. You feel more welcomed on Instagram? Because you can kind of control a little bit more. Like you just said, you figured out something that worked.
Instagram, you have a direct
that's true
with people.
Yeah.
Like the regular user, I guess.
Yeah.
Where YouTube is more just like comments.
It's like it's a throw up in the air and hope that it sticks and that this person gets it, that person gets it, rather than unless they're subscribed, of course, but rather than a meme or something, or on Instagram in general. You're right. It's directly like the person that's saying it is that person who's on the phone or whatever. And then of course you can have a bigger reach with hashtags and stuff.
I think that too. And then also a lot of people on Instagram actually have accounts. Like with YouTube, people that don't have anything on their own.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And so Instagram, most people will have something if it's public.
Yeah.
And that allows you to have something more to say if you really wanted to like directly interact with them.
Okay. That's a little bit of talk on the I guess meme coasters and theme park Instagram side of things, which again have never had anybody in the queue that's talked about anything. We've mainly discussed YouTube, but I like how we pivoted and we talked about content creation on Instagram because again, it is a big community. There are people who literally don't have YouTube channels, and you're like, come on, why don't you have a channel? And they just strictly focus on Instagram and taking photos or posting. Like that is their thing. That's their bread and butter rather than a YouTube channel. And I always thought that was intriguing because what content creator on YouTube doesn't want to have a bigger reach? Meaning, so let me expand to Facebook, let me expand to Twitter. People want a bigger reach and they want to grow their because they visit the parks, they want to take pictures, and they want you to like it and to grow more. It's a hard thing to do. I personally think Instagram or social media is a little bit more difficult than YouTube. But then you have people like you who might have figured out a little bit of a formula, and it's not. That's
Instagram, I don't know what you would say easy or harder. I think Instagram is just easier to post.
Oh, for sure.
So you can,
It won't take that much time. You might think of something, a topic or whatever, and you put it there and like, oh, I think this will hit. Yeah.
And then people are like more just like they have a whole profile and they're more like people.
Yeah.
Instead of random like usernames.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Understood.
They're, I don't know, it's a little more connected when you think of like social media.
Yeah.
YouTube feels like it's barely social media.
It wants to be.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like there's like YouTube stories, like how IG stories. There's like YouTube stories now, and then of course the community tab. You can treat as a social media if you can get it popping like that. I definitely utilize mine to my take advantage of all options, but yeah, so that's good to know. Real last thing, as far as hashtags, how much do you believe in as a like a Instagrammer? How do you feel like hashtags really help out with things? Do you use them often?
Yes, and well, yeah, I do. I think with us, it will help somewhat because we're a niche.
Yeah,
we're like a, well, not with us, but like I mean, like our.
No, I understood. What you meant.
Yeah, like we're a niche, so
Yeah.
niche things work better for hashtags. At least Instagram, I feel like YouTube is a lost cause. Too many things, like too many things going on, like the tags and stuff like that. Like it makes that you should have it in there, but it's not going to.
Do you feel right now, if you started over and you did not have your channel, do you feel like you could just like grow a whole Instagram page into something?
No.
Come on now.
I mean, I could do it. As far as what I know now,
What you know now, and I'm talking about in this niche. Do you feel like you could grow?
I would do a better job. So I would probably be more ahead than I am now. But
Okay.
Into something, I don't know what that would be.
Well, that is something.
Yeah,
that is something.
I don't know what into something would be. Oh, of course, yeah.
Something as in has followers, thousands of followers, whatever.
Oh yeah, I think I
Yeah.
could.
Oh, that's cool then. Well, we'll talk after this then. 'Cause, I don't know. I'm doing all right. It's a lot of growth, but I could get more. I could get more. Let me ask you, what is your worst theme park experience?
One time I went to Six Flags Great America.
Okay. I actually love that park.
It's a great park.
Yeah.
I was a kid, and this is like vacation with my family, and it was so crowded.
Was this the? I think in your video was this Max Forest? Okay.
It was so crowded. This is like 2005, I think. And then we're just listening to my dad. Where to go, and I'm just like, this is stupid. So we literally only rode five. It was either 4 or 5 rides the entire day, and we're there like all day.
Okay, because of the weights.
Yes. And the first one was that it was like a spaceship type of like simulator ride that they have. I don't think they still have that. We gonna wait like an hour and a half of this. a 3D, 4D simulator.
Your dad wanted to ride it.
I was like towards the front of the park, so maybe he was like thinking, and like it looks kind of crowded, but you never know. Like,
Yeah.
start out up here. We're over here looking at Raging Bull, and then we go to, but we didn't go on it. We went to a giant drop.
Okay.
Like a drop tower. Like we already ride it.
And he likes what he likes.
And Kings Island is taller, in my opinion.
Hey, it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
And we go in there, and then the line just stops. And it's like, why does the line stop? And then a lot of people turn around. I was like, what's going on? And then we look, and like the line has like parts where there's like caves.
Mm-hmm.
And like we look out the cave, and it's like pouring rain.
Oh my. No. So that was your worst day.
Oh yeah, well, no. This is the second round. Hold on. Let me speed the story up. Well, that one it stopped raining. They started up, and then we went all the way to the station where my dad and mom rode, and then after it, there was lightning strikes again, and then we just were sitting in a line.
Got him. Yeah.
My mom and dad were just like, stay there and like wait till it comes back up. I'm like, why? I mean, it doesn't really make a difference, but like, why? Yeah. And then so we rode that when the seats were all wet. It was cold. It was just, I mean, it was fun, but it was after waiting for that long and just
you were over it.
This is not how it happened. Then after that, like we ate, and that pizza made my stomach hurt.
Okay.
And then we rode Batman again, a clone that we went on.
It's the original.
It is.
Yeah.
They stapled me, which made my stomach hurt even more.
So when it rains, it pours. It just got bad.
The last ride I think we rode was Raging Cajun.
Okay.
Mouse ride. I'm like, really? Why did we go to Pittsburgh today? Apparently today was just a troll.
The whole day was just a troll. That's funny. Well, I guess that's pretty bad, especially like being younger. You're not gonna enjoy that. So I guess so. I'm glad you've gone back and you've experienced better days at parks. So that's good. So what is your favorite type of video to make?
I would say when it is very casual, when I kind of what I started with, just talking about experiences at a park.
What's your favorite video that you've ever made? You don't have a favorite video that you're like, man, I'm so proud of this.
Well, one, I really like the last one, obviously. Okay. Because that took work and it had a message. So
that's true.
When it comes to being proud, yes.
Okay.
I also there's one video that I had that was about a gift shop that I just felt like was so funny. I felt like the pace of it was perfect. It was like one of the very few videos that I feel like my jokes and the types of jokes that I had was like paced well.
Okay.
And I was actually talking about things.
So you've been trying to chase that ever since and recreate it?
Oh, no.
No. One and done. That's it. Call it quits.
Like Son of Beast one and the Volcano one.
Okay. So you're proud of that's good. You're proud of a lot of your stuff. Most people are just like one thing.
How could I say that I was worth more if I'm not proud of I'm proud of it all.
The arrogance is unreal. No.
They're all A1, but those early Six Flags Over Georgia ones, the visual, the audio, everything was just
on point.
It was
Okay. Again, make sure you guys check those out. For sure. We're speaking of content creation from Instagram to YouTube to all this stuff this whole time.
Yeah.
But if you were going to create another YouTube channel about anything we talked about, so anything funny, anything memes related, anything rumors, any coaster theme park stuff, any of that's gone. You can't use that. You had to create a whole new channel. What would it be about?
I would be I would do something with like music and or film.
Okay.
Because I'm really into both of those. Maybe even something combined. And it'll probably be pro-black.
Okay.
It'll probably be like dark aesthetics, like stuff. Like horror fantasy, like dark fantasy type stuff.
Okay.
I don't know what I would make because I'm like, I don't know what that would be like.
Okay.
But
it would be that.
It would have those tones in it. I don't know. Like, I don't think it would be commentary. I think I would actually want to make.
Oh no! Again, it couldn't be commentary because you do that now. It has to. It can't be anything that you do now. So.
Yeah, it'll actually be like products, and I would probably collaborate with other people.
Okay.
I don't know. I like animation.
Okay. I see. See, this is what I like about this, and particularly this question is it shines light on the person or the influencer, however you want to call them, because they got to know you. You have a following. They don't get to see this other side, and they don't get to know these things like the music that you like. And like, for example, I had Dale on here, Coaster Daddy, and his type of music he called it stripper fight music. And I'm like, what? I would never have thought you liked that.
All that.
What I'm saying is, like, I like how this humanizes the creator, and we get to know you, Rob, rather than Rob's rides. Like the creator that you want people to see. This digs in a little bit more to get to know you as a person, rather than just all rides. Like we talked about other things here in the queue, rather than just, hey, what's your favorite stat on this coaster? Your favorite element or your favorite, like those are traditional, and no knocking on those type of podcasts because there's a place for those. And I listen to those things every once in a while. But then there's also like, hey, what's up with my favorite creator? Or he likes what I like, she likes what I like. And let me get to know them more. So that's what I like that we're doing here in the queue. So it's pretty cool. And it's been pretty well received. One more question. What is your favorite thing to eat at a theme park?
I have plenty of memes talking about me going to the Wendy's outside of the park.
And I know what you're talking about because I hit that too. I'm talking about inside.
Inside the park. It really depends. So like Six Flags Over Georgia, I would tear up them wings. I'm sorry.
JB's or Schroeder's?
Oh. I would usually go to I remember at first I would go to Shredder's, but then I don't know. I guess it was like this year with COVID and stuff. I don't think
they didn't reopen.
No, JB's.
Yeah.
I guess I'll eat them both.
JB's though, man. Everybody that Six Flags is like their home park, everybody mentions JB's, including myself. Like it's the best food there. And again, the spiral fries are on point. And the barbecue wings, I don't know, something special.
I love Kings Island's blue ice cream.
Okay, I will try that when I make a visit this year.
Actually, I think the twist is better because the blueberry becomes stronger. The flavor becomes stronger for some reason.
Okay,
it's like juxtaposing with the vanilla.
Okay,
like by itself, it's kind of. Those are the things that I have connection to.
Okay, well, that's fair and that works.
I'll also say that I ate the cinnamon bread at Dollywood.
So good. I had so many like people in the community like recommend it, and I tried it, and I was like, even in my vlog, I was like, what type of sorcery is this? Like, why is this so good?
I also recognize that I am. As I age, sugar becomes like too intense for me.
And that has a lot.
Great, the first fourth of it that I ate, and then when I was getting close to the half, I was like,
I got there and I was hungry, and I was gonna like at that point half, and I was gonna finish the rest, but like this bee attacked me, and I had to run. It wasn't captured in the vlog because I wasn't gonna, do that. But well, oh my goodness, Rob, it looks like it was pretty much accurate. Maverick has arrived. I mean, our train has arrived. We're about to finally get on. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
You're elated. I appreciate it. So let me ask one more thing. Where are we sitting?
I'll always say back because that's like my go-to.
Okay, same. Yeah. Right, cool. Well, I guess we're right back row, which I don't mind. So we're about to get on Maverick. So guys, make sure you guys check out Rob. Thank you so much for being a guest here in the queue. Make sure you check out Rob's rides on YouTube. And also, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Be sure on the screen right now and also listed in the description down below. Make sure you check out Rob's Rides channel on Instagram. Very hilarious, just active Instagram account. You'll be cracking up, and it's funny. It's weird, but it's funny. But make sure you give him a follow and also subscribe. And then also subscribe here and give me a follow on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and also to all the other platforms the podcast is located on. But thank you so much, Rob, for being a guest in the queue. And with that being said, that'll do it for us today in the queue. Take care, guys.